Hi, this is Dr. Ben Morrill. Welcome to episode 75 of Reptile Genetics Weekly. We are going to talk a lot about GHI today. So we're pretty happy and excited to have a test for GHI now, and reached out and had quite a few people send in pictures. We got some really cool combos to look at and some historic ones going back to the early days when GHI got started. So we're looking forward to that. And as you all know from the thumbnail, we've got Justin here to help us go through some of these pictures. Some of them he saved from way back in the day, and so it's going to be fun. But as far as business stuff, results going out to people. So the fast tests are going out pretty much every day. Sex determination for pythons and ball pythons and colubrids going out twice a week. So you have about a 3 to 5 business day turnaround. And then the panel results are coming this week. So I actually should get the data tomorrow. And so I'll be analyzing tomorrow and the next day. So this is going to be Tuesday. By the time you see this Tuesday, probably the next day, Wednesday and or Thursday, that all those panel results will be going out. So they're coming pretty quick. Then also on that, like we talked about last week, we'll have some more new test information on there. We will have some monsoon stuff on there. Once again, have some on there almost every week or every other week at the very least, and keep striking out along with everyone else that's working on it. But at least there's a chance. We've got a chance. So anyway, that's what I got for updates. Kayla, how are you doing?
Hey, Ben, I'm doing great. I do think it's so funny that like monsoon has been giving us the runaround as much as it has been.
Yeah, it's a strange one. I think there will be an interesting story there if we ever figure it out.
Fingers crossed.
Hopefully it won't be too much longer.
Yeah. So I know that you've been breeding snakes for like 20 plus years now, I think, but you had a first time experience with something this weekend, right?
I did. We'll have to ask Justin about this too, and he comes on. I had my very first feed bite from a ball python. I've had them, pop at me here or there, but this one was a full-on feed bite from an adult. She's kind of a small adult. She's probably between 1,200 and 1,500 grams.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I was just lifting her out to do a scale clip like I've done hundreds of times.
Mm-hmm.
And I had her in my hand, started to lift her out, started to turn her over. And as I went to turn her over, she just latched onto my thumb. And I didn't want to have super gory pics, but I thought, after I cleaned it up, it's kind of cool to see maybe some of you watching haven't realized that on the top of the mouth, they actually have 2 rows of teeth. So you can see the top of my thumb really clearly, both rows, the inside row and the outside row of teeth.
Mm-hmm.
And on the kind of side of my thumb, that was the bottom jaw. There's just 1 row of teeth. But anyway, I mean, she latched on and she held on. I put her under the sink with water spraying directly into her face. She just kept holding on. I let the sink fill up. I dunked her head completely underwater. I knew there was 0 chance that she could breathe. Like, she was 100% underwater. I thought she'd let go pretty fast. It took about 10 minutes until she finally decided that she needed to breathe. And she let go. I just sat there with her. And when I would move a little bit, she'd squeeze even harder. Like, I got to feel what the rat feels, And, but yeah, I mean, it was literally a good full 10 minutes that she held her breath, and then she finally let go, and I could get her back in her cage and say a couple of choice words about her. But yeah.
As you do. I mean, hey, we love a good eater. We love a good food response, especially in a ball python, man.
Those strange. I've really only had one other feed bite, and it was a Woma python, and they're psychotic feeders. Like, from a Woma python, it wasn't near as surprising, but from a ball python,
I
had never had that happen.
Oh, that's too funny. I posted the picture, I think, on our social media as a joke before, but like, Mr. Lemon Bars, my rat snake, decided to swallow my whole ring finger, but it was there, and he just decided to work his way over. And my poor boyfriend was watching. He was like, "Babe, what do I do?" And I was like, "Get the camera. This is hilarious." What about you, Justin? You had experiences like that?
I've had ball pythons be off food for so long that I don't even try to get them to let go of me. I just like, go ahead and feed him your arm.
Right.
You gotta take this off the chair and get some food in him.
Like, work a rat in there under the tooth.
You joke, but sometimes how it feels, I tell you.
I mean, I know I've had to like conveyor belt feed like things into hog noses, like get them on one piece, and as they're like reaching ahead, I'm like, okay, we'll get you another one in there.
Yes.
I've done that.
Usually I
yeah.
yank away so fast that I the ball python does not stay attached to me, but I end up with some teeth,
Oh, yeah, fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. At least they grow back.
That's right.
And so does our skin.
At least you didn't have to wait 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I still have a couple teeth in me though, my thumb here. So I've been waiting
Really?
like 7 years for this bite to end, So,
Oh, wow. Oh, that's funny. So like when you like press your fingers together, you feel
I get a little
sharp
sharp
bits?
pain every so often when I just poke it just right, but it won't work its way out. And I've dug and dug and dug, and I just can't get it. So,
Honestly, that's kind of a cool little memento. Like my hobbies with me wherever I go. That's funny. Actually, I had a fun experience on Sunday that I have a picture from. So I was on my way home from my other job, and I saw a snake in the road. It was nighttime, and so I hit the brakes, hit the flashers, hopped out, ran forward. It was a little rat snake. So I pick him up, and he gives me a couple of kisses, as you do, and it feels like Velcro because he's so little. His teeth can't even break the skin. Precious. I told him he was the cutest little guy ever. And I made my way to the other side of the road, and there was a toad right where where I was putting the snake. And so I was like, oh, double herp. And I'm like yelling double herp on the phone to my poor boyfriend who was on the phone with me right now, or at that time. And so I'm like, hang on, I have to get a picture. So I have like a wiggly rat snake and a toad in one hand trying to get a picture in the headlights. And like, look at these poor creatures. They're the worst photos ever, but I love them.
The toad especially seems to be enjoying that.
Yeah. I know. It's like he's riding a rat snake. Like just those faces.
I'm sure he called his boyfriend or his girlfriend afterwards and said the same thing.
Yeah.
Like, man, how did I get here?
No one's going to believe this. That's what he's thinking right there.
Exactly. So that was my weekend. Okay, let's knock out some business stuff real quick. And Justin, I guess you're going to join us for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so just so y'all know, we do have a la carte style testing on our partners Clutch and Morph Market. So if you want to bundle together a few tests and get a discount, you can do that. So Clutch calls them bundles. On Morph Market, it's build your own, so you can just pick and choose from our tests instead of having to order a whole panel. And then you can add on even more with just for just $10 each. So definitely they're worth checking out. You can get shed testing for less, which is always nice.
Yes. So that's in the case where you have it per animal, you want to do multiple tests. And that's a really good way. Even if you're only testing one animal, you can get several tests and you get a discount on that. Right.
And speaking of shed testing for less, if you order in bulk, you can get an even better discount. So we put this up every show, but we want to make sure that y'all get a chance to see it.
Yeah, so that the bundles, that's good if you're doing multiple tests on a single animal. With the bulk, it can be either way. If you're doing many animals and you just want one test, you're doing a few, you want two, or some you want five, whatever. But this is just really if especially for you that are breeding, you have several animals you want to test. This gives you a way. You just send an email to raregeninc@gmail.com and Sean will set you up with a quote. So you'll have, customized quote to exactly what you need to have done. And Sean will always know the best deal he can give you at that time. He'll hook you up with that. And obviously the more you're ordering at once, the better deal you get. And these don't ever expire. So you can pay if you're going to need, 50 or 100 over the next 8 months or whatever, you can pay for them and then just send 1 or 2 or 10 or, however many along the way.
Mm-hmm. So we'll make sure that we hook you guys up.
Yes.
And we are attending some shows. Well, Ben is going to the Charlotte show this weekend.
Yes.
So make sure that if you're going to that show, be sure to look out for Ben. And we plan on having a little drop box at the table. So if Ben isn't there when you show up to the table and you have some sheds you want to give to us, there will be a drop box for them. So bring those in, whether it is, for testing and it has the case, not case number, but
order
order number. Yeah. So if you got the order number for a shed that you shed test that you purchased, you can drop it in there. Or if it's like a corn snake shed or a hognose shed or something like that for testing in the future, then you can drop it off there too.
Yeah, so that both the All American Reptile Expo, also the Kobylka Fest. My understanding is we have like a little area, not necessarily like a full booth or anything. We have a little area, so we'll have I don't know, it's like 4 or 6 feet tall roll up banner. So you'll see that as you're walking by, and there'll be a little drop box there that you can drop sheds into. So I'll mostly be walking around talking to people. I might be over by the banner sometimes, but I'll definitely be at both the Charlotte show and Kobylka Fest. And Kobylka Fest will be the first one that Kayla and I have both been to at the same time. So that'll be cool.
It's only been 2 years. It's fine.
Yeah.
But I'm excited. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited for Kobylka Fest. Man.
And,
but that's kind of my wheelhouse. So,
And speaking of shows, Justin, did you end up going to Bob's show this last weekend?
Yeah.
Amazing show. I think it's going to be a big hit in the future. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Good.
Super.
That's awesome. It's always a little scary to start something new. That's awesome that it went well.
You did it upright, and starting a show is like a chicken and the egg. What comes first, vendors or customers? Which do you?
Yeah, of course.
But he managed to bring them all together all at once, and we got something special on our hands.
Awesome.
Good.
Actually, I know Bob actually like his I saw a post that his Facebook account was deactivated, or not deactivated, but he lost it.
Yes.
And so he's actually like they've made a new one, and I think Darian of Morph Market actually made a post about that, and so you can actually go and add his new profile. But that reminded me, since you mentioned his show this weekend, but I'm so glad that it went well, because losing the Facebook account does suck, and it is notoriously hard to get that back after that, because meta support isn't always amazing. Social media gods don't strike me down. So, but yeah,
that's cool.
Definitely. So y'all want to talk about some GHI stuff?
Let's do it.
All right, cool. So we do have just some examples. We like to reach out to some of our friends in the hobby to send us some of their GHI combos. So we got some stuff from Balls of Fury with a really pretty. I love what Hypo does with dark colors.
Yeah,
it's like almost a chocolatey gray, like a I don't know, clay, or I don't know how to describe it, but I like that coloration. It's like bluish.
Yep.
And Ben, this is one you produced, right?
Yeah. So Kevin, that helps me out in the snake room, he loves dark genes. So
yes,
this was a couple of years ago. We had a Wookiee male that we put to a bongo. Let's see, it's a Wookiee male to a bongo GHI female. So, so we are hoping. I thought we had 2 animals from this clutch, and I went and got shed samples from 2 animals from this clutch and figured that's all we had left, and tested both of those now that we have Wookiee and GHI and bongo tests. But then I went out and realized, there's actually 3, and this is the only one I didn't test yet. So the next time I'm doing tests here in Virginia, I'll have to run this one. But so yeah, I'm pretty confident it has GHI just because of the striping and the other animals from that clutch. It just seems like, Justin, you might have a better feel, but
agree.
Pretty confident GHI is there. Whether it's got both the bongo and the Wookiee, I don't know for sure there. But
yeah, really cool looking animal.
Yeah.
Let's see. We've got some stuff from one of our sponsees, JLP Morphs. I love that super GHI and like that fading gold that like fades it brighter up on the spine. So pretty.
And all the darkness. That's
and the spot nose sunset GHI, who's feeling actually both of them are feeling shy. This one too got a lesser freeway, and then compare that to a black pastel GHI freeway. I love that difference.
Cool.
And then Inky Cloud sent us this GHI Leopard DG.
Yeah, I love the GHI Leopard. It's so, in a way, subtle, but I think it's we're pictures in a little bit that it kind of creates some really interesting interactions.
Yes, it does. And it makes a nice basis for some of the stuff that we have, like that you also work with and are going to show us later. let's see. So from Rhinos Royals, they had a banana GHI clown clutch that are really, really pretty. So like peachy goodness.
Good job, rhinos. That was
Yeah.
awesome.
Oh yeah, add a little bit of candy colors to it.
Mm-hmm. Another one of Rhinos Royals. This is a GHI Black Pastel Red Stripe YB Clown. GHI Spot Nose Clown. So is the Peanut Gallery question about the spot nose thing? Like what tells you spot nose from that? And is it the actual nose of that animal?
Well, spot nose is in the mutation,
Mm-hmm.
and it often has spots on the noses when you have a spot nose. But in combos, that spot is usually taken away, especially in a
Okay,
so
fair enough.
nose is no longer there's a spot on the nose. But I love that. I love that. There's a really unique head pattern that comes from the spot nose GHI.
Yeah.
And body color. It's like kind of like desert tans, like army desert colors. And it's a really, really strong pattern that comes from the GHI in there. I mean, from the spot nose in there. It's really great.
Yeah. So let's talk about the red spots in GHI combos or GHI in general.
Yeah. What do you think, Ben? I can only say that I see them, and I don't know why they show up.
Yeah.
I don't know, 1 in 10, maybe 1 in somewhere in there. They randomly pop up, and they're usually on the side of the animal, and they're really cool. But why would that happen?
Yeah, it's funky. I don't know. That's a good question. And like you're saying, when we were talking offline before we started, it kind of seems to be, somewhat lateral, almost never like right on the spine, just kind of a little spot. And you said that it's usually ends up being, similar in size. It's funky.
Yeah. Like, I think one of those first pictures someone pointed out, there's a red spot on the left side, the little hypo. You can see it about the first third of the body. Even that one has that.
Yeah.
Little rust spot.
Yeah, funky. I remember the first one that I saw was a GHI yellow belly that we got. It was probably the second or third GHI combo we ever bought. It's probably a good, I don't know, 8 or 9 or 10 years ago. But yeah, I mean, it just, same thing, kind of a third of the way down to 2/3 of the way down, a little bit off to the side. And it's just this, patch of orange. And then we did a lot of GHI and champagne combos.
Yeah.
Because of the champagne, you get all this funky stuff, but it would make it so that we would get some bigger patches sometimes it would be patches of white, sometimes it would be patches of black, and sometimes it would be patches of orange. And I guess I haven't really paid attention if some of the champagne combos we've gotten orange patches, but definitely when we did GHI champagnes, we would get those orange patches. So
yeah,
funky.
We'll have to look at Charm next time we're in the snake room, see if maybe she has one of those.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is one from Leviathan. That's like a really red spot too.
Yep.
So neat.
Interesting.
Yeah. So here's you said that this was one of your world first combos, right, Justin?
No, well, this is a world first, but it's from the originator of the GHI. And before we go any further, we have to give credit to Matt Lear, who created the GHI or discovered it and then proliferated it initially. Do you guys, I assume what does GHI stand for?
Gotta have it.
Yeah.
Gotta have it. That's right. It was, I would think, is the first ball python name, maybe the only one. Well, there are some other acronym ones now, like the KRG and some of these. But the Gotta Have It was the first one, I think, that was an acronym name. And yeah, super neat. We still hear people call it the Gee Ball every so often, though. And I'm like,
really?
They're new. Yeah.
That's funny.
That's so cute.
Yeah. But this was the world's first GHI Mojave, or at least the first one that he ever shared. And this snake took GHI from, interesting new combo to gotta have it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Man, that's cool.
And
so
it doesn't even have the striping.
Yeah, interestingly, it's different than a lot of the GHI Mojaves that were made in subsequent years, Yeah.
I really like the grays on this animal.
Yes, this one it was our first GHI Mojave clown, and again, just trying to leverage that weird interaction at the time, everybody initially thought that GHI Mojave had to be allelic in order to look so, honestly looks so strange, and also looks kind of like the super in a way. And so
Yeah, a little bit.
there was this thing that where basically they thought it had to be allelic. We put it in the clown, and what a difference. Like, I think the next picture shows the difference clown makes between two siblings with the same incomplete dominant genes, but clown being the difference, and what a difference those made.
Yeah.
Look at that just one little break halfway down the snake. That is so neat. And look at those bright eyes.
Yes, they're like a deep blue too. This is the pastel leopard GHI Mojave. We're talking about like the interesting, weird thing that leopard brings into the GHI. Like, they're in a way they don't play nice because they kind of like fight each other for position, and leopard usually wins. But when you start adding some other things, you get a really unique expression like this.
So unique.
That pattern is really funky. The hooks and the little circles.
And all the darkness is overwhelming the pastel to where there's no hint of yellow really, except where you see that little bit of purple in the back head, but you have a black body with a bright stripe.
And I know that sometimes pastel, like the yellows cool down as it grows up. Did this animal do something similar?
We still have this animal. Yeah, it still looks extremely similar to it.
Wow.
Now, yeah, it did then.
Oh, that's awesome. That one's cool.
Yeah, another leopard GHI combo. Leopard spot nose strong combo. GHI lengthens the pattern, adds some weird hooks in it, but it leaves it alone mostly. It's subtle.
Yeah.
Here's the first super GHI, also from Matt Lear, and I say this photo because I was so in love. This is back when GHIs were about 20 grand a piece.
Woo!
And everybody just had to have one.
Of course.
Yeah, especially once you hit that thing is dark.
Yeah, love this.
I love this interaction. Yeah, this is my first time I ever put GHI with Jaguar. And, black pastel GHI, I mean, you guys saw those. Those are typically really dark with a stripe. Then OD, add some nice orange to it. And Jaguar, look at that. Those hieroglyphics or whatever those are on the back. It's trying to tell us something.
Yeah. No, not amoebas aren't the word.
That's not bad, though. You got some cell division going on there, though.
Yeah. You can have little mitosis as a treat.
Yeah.
Man, the reds, like orange is red on that is so cool.
So yeah, Inchi is kind of like leopard. It kind of screws with GHI, and usually in GHI combo, Inchi's almost hidden, right? But in this combo, we had it where GHI is almost hidden. You have this war going on between the patterns. And I just love these subtle, weird interactions that don't make sense because you can really leverage them some interesting and unique combos.
Yeah. Oh, I'm always a sucker for lavender albino combos.
Yeah, amazing.
So pretty.
Darkness brings even more contrast. That's really, really pretty.
And a firefly, a leopard GHI clown.
Right. It looks like to me like this is like a painter's canvas with just like a thatching and a dripping down the sides. And this animal is one of the most beautiful clowns we ever made. And back then we were convinced that you got to keep GHI and leopard separate in clown, but with firefly it brought out this special, unique look.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Man, that's cool.
I love how stretched out the yellow is. It's not like these little. It's just all melted along. That's cool.
That's neat.
Right. This is one of our first super GHI clowns, Fire Yellow Valley Super GHI clowns. This is you getting all these nice rusty colors in there, and the banding, everything coming in with the super. Again, we're saying we're not getting any striping, which usually super GHIs are often striped. Clowns are usually black backed, and so you have those two stripe and black back like canceling, and you get bands. I love that.
Cool.
That is cool. And with this being a super GHI combo, I remember seeing or watching something where people were talking about super GHIs and having a difficult time with them thriving as well as others. Have you seen that at all?
No.
Yeah, that wasn't.
I would say they're typical. Yeah.
Yeah, we've made only like 3 or 4, and I hadn't noticed that. They've done fine for us, but I've just thought since you've produced a few, it'd be good to have your input on that.
Yeah, it's sometimes with a small sample size, it only takes one bad animal to think there's a problem with them all.
That's fair.
Oh yeah.
I know there are some. I know there's similar things with like I know in the retic community, I think there's like some super golden child uh, concerns, but I mean, it could just be a matter of like not enough projects were outcrossed, and so you had like maybe it was an inbreeding consequence or something like that.
Right.
So hard to say, but the thing I love about this animal is like on the head, it's the blacks go away and it's almost like a lavender, like a dark lavender kind of look in the darker patterns.
Yeah, so neat.
Yeah, this guy's so cool.
Yeah, this is one of my favorites.
Mm-hmm.
So Hypo Clown, but then the Incomplete Dominance Fire Yellow Belly GHI Powerball. So we're leveraging the spot nose GHI clown like we saw earlier, but with so much more going on. We got the super form of the spot nose, and we should highlight the new spot nose test too that you guys have.
Yeah.
Of course, this one not be one we need it for, but others.
Yeah.
Yeah. The super spot nose or Powerball, that is a very unique look, and even though it's got a lot of other stuff going, I mean that super spot nose look is such a funky. I remember the very first one that got made. Speaking of small samples,
yeah,
and all the drama when that one died, and
that was VPI, wasn't it?
Yep.
Yeah. It looked like a weak baby from the beginning. I think we never saw a post-shed photo.
Yeah.
I see.
In a way, it makes you wonder, like, because I've had a lot of super spot noses hatch over the years, and and we know that sometimes they have a spin to them or anything, but I've never had one not thrive ever. So it almost makes me wonder if their first one was a Partho situation or something like that.
Yeah,
I just never did well.
Yeah,
that certainly could be, but yeah, that's the danger of small sample sizes. Good to know. Can work, and yeah, I mean this thing that talk about candy looking, that thing is so cool.
Yeah, and like with the like those oranges and yellows, it's like it's those colors peeking through. It's almost like it's like lit from the inside, kind of
cool,
like an ember glow inside. It's so cool.
And it like kind of keeps the reverse back stripe of the clown, but it's like super thin.
And this black pastel chocolate GHI clown is pretty. I love busy pattern, and then plain head is really, really fun to look at.
Right. This is the whole basis for the Kraken project 1.0 and 2.0, right? So it's chocolate instead of Wookiee, but you could see those major elements coming in there, just missing things like red stripe and yellow belly to take it into the Kraken 2.0.
Yeah. And those patterns are just so distinctive. Those are trying to tell you something too. Like,
right. Well, you can see like we that's why we call it the Kraken, because it looks like suction cups on an
yes, it does,
doesn't it? Like on both sides, like they're like been gripping onto something.
Yeah. Oh, that's so cool. Let's see, a fire GHI yellow belly lace.
Some of that banding again.
Yeah. Again, yeah. So neat. And the lace bringing a lot of that golden into the dorsal and the high speckling on the sides. Speaking of which, today, Ben, 100+ lace sheds out the door to you.
Oh, awesome.
Yes, we've been needing those. All right.
Cool.
So, that'll take what, 3 or 4 days to get that new test ready, right?
Yeah. If we had about 1.5 million, so we could have our own machine here.
Okay.
It'd be much faster. That's all it costs.
That's all.
Send me a bill. So
any of you listening that got an extra mil, send that to us, and we'll get these tests designed much faster. But
please.
Yeah, that's awesome. That lace is definitely another cool one, and to kind of put on top of darker jeans, that's a nice thing to be able to do.
For sure.
Oh yeah. Let's see. This Enchi Cypress is I like that pattern is so wild.
I don't know why I think of camel spider when I see this, like the colors and like I don't know why. It's like nothing to do with the spider, obviously. That's just what comes off my head. Yeah,
like the color. The color is very, or at least those color combos are giving sulfugid.
Yes,
I love the skull too on the back of the head.
Yeah, that's what I was going to comment on.
Like a floating like a circle there or a oval.
Or
These are all inspired me. All these combos inspire me. They're they're GHI, but they're just every one of these to me is a rabbit hole. You could run down it and find so much neat stuff with each of these combos.
Yeah. It's like the more and more I learn about how these genes interact, it really drives home the point that so much of what we do is like a really unique mix of animal husbandry, genetics, and art. Because that's art that you can hold and interact with. That's so cool. Oh, this guy.
This is like 10-year transformation one, right? So
yes,
this snake is crazy. I think this is the Kraken 2.0 plus spot nose, basically. And you can see spot nose. It's extremely dark. That line on the back of the head is that indicator for spot nose. When you get the Wookiee spot nose stuff, is where you almost always see that line pop on the back of the head. You lose all the head pattern except for that. But this snake, 3 years later, check this out, guys.
Boom.
Same animal.
That's amazing.
Unreal.
Yeah. So everything in there just going rust. It starts dark and just goes rust color. And what a cool. Yeah, what a cool thing.
And then that black tail, and then the faded pattern on that last third there. It's like you have 3 different snakes in one, and none of them look like the original.
Right.
Like, oh my gosh. And speaking of, like, we were talking about the red spots in GHI. I don't know if that one on his little next to his right eye, or I guess above his right eye, I don't know if that's one of those red spots as well.
I don't know if that counts or if that's something unique, but I haven't really seen him on the head before. Yeah.
And then as an adult, he's grown out of it, from what we can tell. That's just so neat. Are there other morphs that have such a dramatic change, especially from really dark to such a bright orange or rusty kind of thing? Like there's I'd never seen that.
Most things that are dark stay dark. It's the bright ones tend to turn dark, and dark stays dark. That's the general rule.
Yeah,
this is a little bit unique.
Super unique. I'm trying to think of any other species that does that, really. Because I always go back to my rat snakes. They have those pattern to less pattern and black a lot of times, or speckled to striped in yellow rats, but for something like this, that is just unreal. So really cool. And you said you still have this guy with you?
Yeah, that's a girl, and she is I think she's about to be gravid soon.
Oh my goodness.
That'd be amazing to see her and see what the next generation looks like.
Oh yeah. Like when you're listing an animal like that with that combo, I mean, it would kind of be worth it to have a picture of what the mother looks like when she's grown.
Yes.
Just to show that ontogenic change. If they're similar morphs.
If I could spell that word, I would put that in my ad, yes.
That's fair. Words are hard, I understand. So cool. Is that it?
That's it.
That's it.
Guys, I really appreciate it. I'm so excited about that.
Yeah. Those are some nice animals.
All right. Well, thanks for everybody for joining us today to talk about GHI and the shenanigans Ben and I have gotten into this past weekend, I guess. But yeah, thanks for joining us today, Justin, and showing off those really cool animals. Still, I can't get over I can't stop looking at that change. That's so pretty. What a pretty girl. Did you pair her to something similar?
I can't bring to mind what I paired her to right now.
That's okay.
I think I was excited about it, so I remember that.
Okay, well, that's good at least. All right. Well, you guys got anything else before we call it a day?
Just want to say thanks. And what's the next show you're going to, Justin?
Oh, yeah.
Tinley Park. Hope to see you guys there. Yeah.
I'll be there. So any of you coming to Tinley, come by and say hi to Justin. And I think I'll more be walking around. I'll come find some of you.
All right.
Awesome.
Sweet. Well, thanks, guys. Everybody, be sure to like, comment, subscribe. And if you think of anything that has such a dramatic change like that, I'd love to know what those like what those combos are, because I love color changing pet rocks, you know. All right, thanks guys, and we'll see you next week. Outro in 3, 2, 1.